Welcome back to Alpha Centauri. Let's go ahead and load up. Oh, oh my! There we go. 2269.
Complete.
Delicious.
Production complete.
Ooh, lovely. We have a hab complex. Halls of Discipline. You have built yourself a hab complex. How do you feel? I feel really good. Excellent. Very glad to hear it. Well, because we don't have that thing, we should build one of these. Start with this guy. Our economy is kind of weak for the moment. I'm sure there are things we could do to alleviate that, like put more money into it. But I don't want to do that.
Terraform complete.
So neener. Build a forest, refuel, build a farm, do nothing, because I don't know. I need you to do something. What's the thing about that? You are getting rid of fungus. And you are building a farm. The F key gets used a lot. You're moving and, what are you doing? Interesting question. Nope.
Turret complete.
Okay. Now, before we go anywhere, we've got this thing happening. Let's talk to him. Oh my goodness. He's very angry. Look at that. He's seething and red. Word of your accomplishments has spread since the time of planetfall. You may be aware that I plan to found a society on the principles of security and control. Do not attempt to interfere. I'm sure that was a very offensive accent. I'm not sure if it was even a good accent. Oh! I have located the settlements of our former colleague Miriam, who now styles herself Sister of the Believers, and as far as I can tell, spends most of her time pounding her cherished Bible. Having now made several attempts to reason with her, I have decided to take action to eliminate this heavily armed menace. Oh, she's a menace, eh? I agree. If you're willing to provide assistance, I shall speak a pact of brotherhood on the matter. Pact. On the matter. Not the manor. We don't need a pact on the manor. Alright. So this is interesting. Alright. So basically he's saying, if you become super best buddies with me, we can fight Miriam. Huh? Want to do it? Huh? Huh? And the answer is yes, because I don't like Miriam. She's a twit, and she's obnoxious, and she's gonna, like, declare war on us anyways, because we're not Christian enough for her. And that is actually the way it is. So, whatever. Deal with it. Yeah. Now, he's kind of an iffy one to make a deal with, because his whole thing is all about the police state. It's all about, you know, things like that. Very weird. It's very... He tends to commit more atrocities, and everyone's all like, no, you can't do that. Yeah, that sounds terrible and everything. So making a deal with him is a little odd. But this will let me fight Miriam. And also would give us a little bit more than just base management. We haven't done anything with wartime economy yet, or production, or anything, and we're the war faction. Might as well, right? Not only that, but we're unsurpassed and we're completely peaceful. Which I suppose makes a great point for the idea that the mightiest warrior is he who does not kill his enemy. And at the same time, this is, there's America! So there is some precedent there. Not that I care much for it. Anyways, I don't like Miriam. I don't like Miriam. And we could use a pact and stuff like that. So let's go ahead. It's good for it's good for the show, if nothing else. That I, Chairman Hain of the Yive, greet you formally as Pact Sister. Together we shall both exercise our rights. Blah 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 blah. Converge to victory. Yes, indeed. Oh look, he's only quarrelsome. Now we exchange world maps. And he asks for money. We get a cool wartime theme. And we're going to go ahead and do that. It's not my favorite, so it's like, yeah, but I'm going to get you. No, we're not actually going to go and get him that. But we are going to go ahead and do it because it definitely gives us a profit. It's a really nice one. I kind of wish banks would do that because it's like, oh, that's convenient. I'll pay 5 credits per year for 100 years. I won't be around for 100 years, but I'm sure whoever it is can pay 5 credits. So no big deal. I would totally take that deal. Hey, pay $5 for every year? Okay. And now he's a little happier, but still kind of frustrated because democracy is a menace to right-thinking people everywhere. Common citizens cannot be allowed to question the decisions of their rulers. Police control, which ironically is actually what we're going to do, but not for a couple turns still. We're not quite ready to impose strict police control. However, just to keep him no, not actually just to keep him happy, partly to keep him happy, and more importantly, to have a good wartime economy, we are going to go to police control, but more on that later. Any other business? No, we don't need any. Normally, we don't necessarily get into a war every time we talk to someone, but hey, things happen. Okay, so that was the end of that turn. We can now talk to Miriam, and she'll be like, "Burr." And we'll be able to, like, deal with it, lady. So, let's go start the next turn and begin wartime stuff. Shall we? Aha! Interesting. Didn't expect that. Chairman Yang convenes the Planetary Council. Agenda, elect planetary governor. So the Planetary Council is like the world's G8 or, whatever, or what have you. It's the NATO, it's the UN. In fact, that's kind of based on the UN logo right there. And in this case, the agenda is the planetary governor. So let's see what it looks like. All right. Well, that's interesting. Very interesting. So we've got all these people here except her. She's eliminated. These two are abstaining. I know she's not going to vote for me because we're at war with her. I'm a little surprised he isn't voting for me because at least we're friends, but I suppose he wants to remain neutral. And this guy seems to be the other candidate. And if you look down here, you see I'm one candidate and Lal is the other guy. That makes sense. He is the diplomat. That's what his faction is based around, diplomacy. In fact, it's so much so that he gets a huge double votes on elections for planetary governor and supreme leader. The only reason I'm in the running is because A, you need 2 candidates, and B, the votes that you have in this thing here are determined by how much bases and population and tech and stuff you have. Mostly population. Population is a really big thing. So because we have like the biggest faction and we've expanded a lot early on, we get a ton of votes. In fact, actually right now, among anyone, we have the most votes at 78. Of course, Lal has 87, so if we just vote for ourselves, we're not going to win. Luckily for us, he's voted for us too. So we're going to go ahead and vote for ourselves. Now, there's something else you can do here. You can notice that these like light up, except for mine. That means you can click on them. So I could click on Zakharov, for example. And of the eligible candidates, for whom do you wish me to vote? Well, I'll say, I want you to vote for me, right? And he's going to say, well, I'll vote for you, or if this were a ballot initiative type thing, just a regular old measure, he'd say, oh, I'll support that particular side in the measure for a price. And there's the price. And I'm like, nope, no thank you. So he'll keep his vote, and, nobody's hurt. Let's go ahead and cast ours. Let's vote for us. Huzzah! We've been elected, the planetary governor. Indeed. This comes with a lot of benefits. For one, it gives us everyone's comm frequency, although we actually got that because we got to see everyone, and so we exchanged comm frequencies. So we're at 92 to 87. It was a very close vote, but we won. We're the governor of planet, and that was our first action. We're going to go to war against you, because I don't like you, basically. But this does come with some benefits here. As you can see, you've been elected planetary governor. As governor, you hold an executive veto, which can block all but a unanimous vote of the remaining members. You get a +1 energy and commerce transactions, blah, 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 blah. And we have infiltrators, blah, 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 blah. So, ideally...
Production complete.
Our production will be complete. So, ideally, we can come here, and there's an infiltrator screen somewhere where you can see details on everyone else's stuff. And you'll be like, oh, yes, I can see details. Ha, 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 ha. That has something to do with the faction profiles. The unfortunate part is, however, that it is not implemented well in this version of the game. The Alien Crossfire does it a little better, but not perfectly. So I should have everyone's stuff available, and as you can see, I don't. We can go through everyone's thing here, but I still don't have, even the security nexus, I still don't have everyone's profile available. So, yeah, the infiltrator option did not get implemented very well. No, not at all. But we do get commerce, and you'll see that as we go through our wartime production at the end of the turn. Let's go ahead and move around. Sure, go explore things. Have fun. You, go find out what's in here.
Mod recovered.
Oh god, a tidal wave! Oh, wow. Well, oh well. We're just going to remove fungus, because that's what you do. You're going to move, you're going back to Sparta Command to do things over here somewhere. What did I want you to do anyways? Probably build some solar collectors. I need a solar collector right there. Let's go do that. You're sitting, you are building another solar collector. Everyone's building solar collectors for everyone. And you get a solar collector, and you get to remove, and you get to sit there and heal. Ooh, look, fungicidal formers. Let's start by fungiciding. Aha! Now, we're not going to go anywhere. Couple things to do. First of all, hit E. Okay. So, it's been a little while. We got this a little while back, and I had been intending to bring us over to power anyways, since it's the only one available, and it's going to benefit us, pretty much. But now we definitely have use for it, because look, we get our support goes back up. Stupid democracy and your support. And we get lots of morale, +3 morale for everyone, and you get morale, and you get morale, etc., etc., etc. Support 2 units free per base, so we're going to get a mineral back. The downside to this is that the mineral costs are going to go down. Mineral costs increased by 20%. Oops. Yeah, so things are going to be more expensive, even though we get another mineral to deal with it. And I never quite understood why this industry is here. Why not something else, like, I don't know, probe or economy or, I don't know, something else. It just seems, so if you think about American history at least, I don't know about anyone else's history, but I know that in American history, when you were all like, wartime economy, lots of industry happened. I want to say the same is true for Germany, but I'm not actually sure about that, so I won't say it. This surprised me a little bit. Anyways, a complete wartime thing for me also involves police state. However, you'll notice that this economic paralysis happens. Let's try that again. Economic paralysis. Yeah, this economic paralysis is a huge problem. In fact, we start losing tons of money, our research goes down, it's a terrible issue. On the bright side, though, we get 4 units or up to base size for free, which would free up a lot of extra minerals, and we get extra police happening. Our growth rate goes down, but that's fine. I'm not too concerned with that right now. However, we're going to stick with democratic because of the inefficiency stuff. It's really, really bad. I mean, economic paralysis is really bad. Avoid that, and it would not help our war effort. Besides, we're not really going to get into it for a couple of years, so we'll start here, and then in a couple turns, eventually we're going to need to get green economics first. But once we get green economics, we can switch our economics and our politics over and avoid the economic paralysis. So the other part of a wartime economy is to change everything, or almost everything, so that it produces weapons. Makes sense. Now, I'm not going to change Sparta's because it's working on a secret project, and that secret project is going to be useful. If we don't get it, we can always change it to a different secret project or just get a ton off of a very simple base facility. So it's still a good thing to work on. So I'm not going to change that one, though I'll put, let's put missile rovers in when it's done, just in case. Everyone else, I'm going to see whether or not they're at the beginning of a production or if they're right in the middle or at the end. If they're at the end, I'm probably going to let them continue. If they're in the middle, it depends on what they're doing. And we're just going to go through and change everybody to produce combat units. So we haven't really done much with combat units yet. Here's the thing. You've got your assault for attacking. You have combat, which can attack and defend. And you have defense, which is primarily defense. Anything else, like this laser battery, technically he has a gun on it, but he's green. He's built for exploration. Actually, he should really just be... We should just get rid of him completely. So, yeah. The assault, great for attacking things, obviously. Defense is great for defending things, obviously. But you actually don't want to take a whole lot of defensive units into battle. It's, combat units, sure. But you're going to be fighting enough that taking, unless you take like lots of defensive units, having these around isn't the best thing in the world. We also have different styles. We've got artillery. We have regular dudes that just shoot things, and then we have, of course, our air power and things that have mobility. This particular base is going to produce this artillery because it's cheap, 3 turns, but we want to make sure that we have a decent array of people. Lots of emphasis on the regular folks. Oops, actually that was not what I wanted to do. I wanted to go this way. Now, some bases like this one are still fairly new, so there isn't a whole lot we're going to do. I'm going to let it build this and build the children's crash. And I'm going to change this network node. We can do without it. And we're going to go ahead and produce some transport foils. No, let's produce those in a different base. I'm going to produce missile foils. I have a reason for that, don't worry. This guy, brand new base. I mean, look at that. He's still working on recycling tanks. So what are we going to... There we go. When you're ready. Okay, so this guy's right in the middle, but again, he's a new base, new-ish. He's only at size 4. Good heavens, so small, right? Again, same sort of thing. In this case, I'll get rid of the network node. And after the children's crash, see, I'm going to have the children's crash in there because... Oops. There we go. Children's crash increases morale. I don't know if you can see that. Make sure you turn your quality up. I should have said that a long time ago, but keep your quality turned up, folks. Helps you see things. Let's just build some missile infantry. Keep going on. This guy is almost done with the HAB complex, so let's let him finish that. And then he can start building some of these missile rovers. Those are good things to have. Defiance Freehold, on the other end, is a brand new base, and so the best we can do for him is to replace perimeter defense with something else a little more useful. Like, oh, I don't know. Oh, here we go. Actually, we could do this. We could insert a transport foil and then, say, build these things. That way we'll get a transport going. Get a transport going. It's kind of a weird thing to say. Let's let him finish the HAB complex as well so that we can get some of these guys out of here. And we're probably just going to produce some transport foils so that we can produce them sooner. And then missile foils. Let's see, can we do that? Ooh, we can. There we go. I don't know if you were paying any attention, but we've got a lot of commerce now. Commerce. So that ought to be good to have and stuff. There we go. We'll try that out. See what happens. Fort Legion has to finish this hologram theater just because it's got so many drones and everything. So instead of that, we're going to say, oh, this guy's not with the aerospace complex. You could have him build one. That's tempting. He's just going to build some missile infantries. There we go. Fort Survivalist, brand new. Yeah, he can't really do much. We can... There we go. Halls of Discipline. Now this is the one with the aerospace complex. So we're going to change the energy bank over to producing some of these guys, the missile needle jets. Yes. It's fine. It's fine. And he's going to produce them because he can produce ones at really high morale. Everyone can produce that high morale, but this guy has a bonus, so he'll produce the needle jets. And that'll be our main air thingamajigger. Heroes Waypoint. As much as a supply crawler would be nice, wartime economy, meaning, or well, wartime production? I don't know. Let's make some missile infantry. And get rid of that HAB complex. It's too complex, that HAB. Hummel Citadel can finish its HAB complex, and can then make some transport foils. Followed by missile rovers, since it's got a lot of minerals. Ironholm, again, brand new base, not much we can do with it. I'll get rid of the network node and put, I don't know, probe teams. No. I'll do probe team someone else. If I forget another, we'll do these. Let's see if we have anyone else to do probe teams. Janissary Rock! There we go. You don't actually need that ham complex right now. You're going to make probe teams. Yes, but 1 minerals are going to be lost. Oh, God. Just don't worry about it. Perfectly fine. But this way I can show you probe teams a little sooner. Parade ground, new base, still working on stuff. But it actually already has this in there. Let's go ahead and get rid of the energy bank. Get that coming up a little sooner. And we're back to Sparta Command. So there we go. We've set up production for wartime stuff. Should be pretty good. Let's take a look at this world map since we got it last turn. Yeah, as I thought, this was Yang. Remember, we could see this little bit a while back, and we saw some of his territory running around here. Interesting that he's on such a tiny island. Maybe that's why I've been able to expand so much. It's just because no one else has really gotten the tech in line. They don't have, I don't know, they just don't have their stuff together. Look at this. His bases are so small and puny. I don't know what I don't remember exactly what I did, but I think expansion really helped. Expansion and getting the formers. There are just certain choices that I made for research that helped out a lot. I still think Deirdre was over here, and I think he wiped her out. But apparently he doesn't have a whole lot of map data on that, so maybe he didn't. I suppose he would have expanded if he had. Looks like he's gone this way a little bit. Explored a fair amount. Aha! Down here you'll see that this is Commissioner Pravin Lau. That's the diplomat. He probably isn't going to like us at the moment. Well, I don't know. He might not. It's very hard to tell. He and Yang don't like each other. So that's how he found him. He went exploring. Looks like in my direction, we almost circumnavigated the world together. And actually, it means that Lao's not too far away from me. At least not from these bases. And at one point I tried to explore down here. This continent might connect over here. Hard to tell since we don't have a whole lot. Interestingly, I don't see any orange on this map. Meaning, Yang doesn't really know where Miriam is. Huh. Won't that be interesting? Go figure. We could probably talk to someone and try to trade world maps and see if anyone else knows. I'm sure somebody does. But we can save that for another time. For now, that's the new world map they updated. We're getting ready to go to war. And we're 2 years away from researching environmental economics. Oh yeah, the economics of environmental. Or something. After that, this is the one that'll lift the energy restrictions. And after that, we'll do some other things. We can, I don't know, planetary economics or something. Quantum power. Yeah, we're not even ready for that. See, look at all this other stuff. Advanced ecological engineering. Oh, we don't have fusion power yet. We don't have pre-ascending. We don't have cyber ethics. There we go. Maybe we'll do cyber ethics. I don't know. We'll find out next time when we hopefully get more than one turn. Turns are going to start taking longer from now on. If you look down here, we're going to start taking on the big military. Don't worry, we got this. But yeah, turns are going to start taking longer from now on since we'll have more units to move around and we're going to have to not worry about the base facilities as much. But we are still going to have to worry about like formers. There are ways around this, then we might talk about that later. But for now, I'll see you next time. And don't catch on fire.